Your calendar, it might say Tuesday, but ours says WNBA today. Let's get to some action around the association last night. This one was so bad that the Liberty had to have a team meeting afterwards. Brianna Stewart was out for this one, visiting the Wings.
Slide to the right.
Paige buckets. Some nice moves there. She had 20 in the game. The Wings up 18 in this one. Did not see this one coming. Arike Ogunbowale in transition. We've seen her do this since college. Knocks down the three. Wings up 23. And then the Wings up 56-31. Ogunbowale again pivots. Gives it up to Dejanay Carrington. Carrington attacks the paint and gets the jumper to go. Ogunbowale became the first player in W history.
Wow.
15 points, 10 assists at the half. She finished with 20 and 14 on the game. Things got a little better effort-wise for the Liberty here in the second half. Sabrina Ionescu just had 1 point in the first half. It was a minus 30, gets the three to go there. She finished with 17 points. And then here, it was a rough night for Jonquel Jones. JJ tries to create the triple here, but ends up turning it over. The Wings hold off the Liberty 92-82. This was just one of those classic sort of trap games, right? Let's create some TV magic. TV magic here now with the WNBA Countdown crew. Andraya Carter, Coach Carolyn Peck. All right, let's get into it because on Monday night we saw the improbable, right? The Dallas Wings defeating the New York Liberty here. When we're looking at what to take away from this for the rest of the week, looking towards the schedule that the Liberty have here, Coach, what is that?
I think the biggest thing is that they've got to get off to a better start. LA got them because they got out to a slow start. Then Dallas got them. Dallas went up as much as 30. Now, they made it a game.
In the third quarter.
In the third quarter. But the thing about it is New York cannot take their foot off the gas. If they want to repeat as championship, put themselves in the position to be a number one spot, they've got to get off to a better start. Now, no Brianna Stewart. But you still have JJ. JJ floated around the three-point line too long in the first half. Went to work in the paint in the second half. New York was more aggressive. That's how they've got to play.
Yeah, I think it's an energy thing. I was very surprised. Dallas was coming off of a back-to-back. I thought Dallas was going to be the team that had less energy. New York was the team that started the game with less energy. You mentioned the LA Sparks game. They gave up 35 points in the first quarter.
Yep.
I'm looking at this Dallas Wings game, and I'm like, okay, New York's going to get off to a faster start. New York gives up 31 points in the first quarter and then gives up 32 points in the second quarter. Defensively, there were miscommunications. There were defensive breakdowns, even one-on-one defense, just one-on-one matchup. They couldn't keep Dallas in front. When we pivot forward to the Minnesota Lynx game, there are players that you have to keep in front of you. Courtney Williams being one of them, Nafisa Collier being another one, and this Minnesota Lynx team is an incredibly connected offensive team. So for New York, more energy, faster start, and more defensive connection. They have to start that game against Minnesota.
We don't get to do this very often here with the season that the Wings have had, but can we just take a moment for what we saw from Arike Ogunbowale and Paige Bueckers in this one, Coach?
Well, Paige Bueckers coming off a game of rest and showed that it paid off. But Arike Ogunbowale is one of these players that once she hits a few,
let her cook.
Exactly. I mean, there was nothing that they could do about it. And then making baskets in that first half became infectious.
Yes.
I mean, everybody that looked to take a shot was there. And again, but I go back to New York's defense, one-on-one. That's where Dallas said, I'm going to take you and I'm going to make you play one-on-one. In the second half, they started just settling for jumpers and played not to lose instead of playing to win. They're fortunate to get this one. But if they had put two back-to-back halves, this could have been 120 points.
Yeah, we could have seen they were on pace. We could have seen them on pace with that record of 127 points put up here in the W. But Paige Bueckers Arike scored or assisted on 72 of the 92 points here.
It was incredible. You talk about Arike scoring 20 points, but also 14 assists.
Right.
The way that she was able to find her teammates, she was 7 of 15 from the field, so it was also efficient. And then Paige Bueckers, 20 points, 3 steals on 7 of 12 from the field. The fourth quarter was alarming, only putting up 7 points. But give them credit because they held on and they got the win.
Top story in the W, the Sparks, they have a league-best 5-game winning streak, and they're about to get another boost because Cam is on the brink of returning here. The number 2 overall pick from the 2024 draft. Remember, she tore her ACL 13 months ago. Set to make her season debut tonight against the Aces. Brink averaged over 2 blocks a night in the 15 games she played last season, and now is set to patrol control the paint again in Los Angeles as we welcome in our WNBA senior writer, Alexa Philippou. Alexa, you ran over here to our studios. Thank you so much for doing that after catching up with Cam Brink about an hour ago. What did she tell you about her mindset? You know how much she loves to play. I imagine she's excited to be back.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, she's definitely really feeling that joy of finally having this whole recovery process behind her, returning to action, and trying not to put too much pressure on herself, too, because this is the first game action she will have seen in 13 months. And I asked her, too, what it was like for her to be able to know that she was ready. And she said she was smiling again, and she was not thinking about her knee on the court, and so that was part of the mental process. We talked, too, more about what that whole just 13-month recovery process was like for her and what she was able to kind of get out of it coming out from the other side.
Mentally, physically, where are you at right now?
I feel great. Definitely had some setbacks with my recovery, but thankful for them. I definitely feel like I'm a more mentally resilient person now. So yeah, I'm just thankful for the process, the people who've helped me along the way, and just happy to be playing the sport I love again.
I know Coach Tara used to tell you every disappointment is a blessing. So in this process, what's been the blessing?
Just finding out more about myself, you know, that I'm tougher than I thought, you know, always stronger than you think. So, yeah, I mean, there's so many lessons I've learned, but, yeah, I think, you know, if I can come back from this, there's not much I can't do, so.
Yeah, Cam Brink was saying that she really leaned on a lot of other athletes, a whole village to get through this process. She mentioned Lindsey Vonn was someone that she talked with a lot. Jamal Murray, too, as a fellow New Balance athlete, was someone that she leaned on. And so it's really going to be a whole kind of celebration of that whole village to be able to celebrate her return tonight when she plays against the Aces. Yeah,
it's not necessarily a fraternity, sorority that you want to be a part of, but that's an injury that really bands athletes together. And I imagine there's a sort of collective cheering that happens when you see someone return to the court like Cam Brink is tonight. But she's returning to a team that's trying to climb up the standings here. They are the owners of the longest win streak in the WNBA right now, and they're returning against one of the best players in the league in Asia Wilson. So what's the plan for LA to reintegrate Cam?
Yeah, well, tonight that's going to look like a minutes restriction, only 15 minutes to expect from Brink. I don't think they want to throw her into the fire, obviously, too much. But long term, this is going to be a great timing to get her back because right now we've seen Los Angeles really thrive offensively. In this 5-game win streak they've had, they're actually having the best offensive rating in the league. And we've seen that with all these sorts of players. Kelsey Plum, Dearica Hamby, Rakia Jackson, Azurá Stevens all thriving. But Cam Brink is such an elite rim protector, such an elite interior defender. So I think once they're able to get her back into the mix, get her, having her feet kind of back under her, we're really going to see their defense hopefully take that step forward. And that's going to be a team that if that process goes well, I don't think a lot of people are going to want to see, especially down the stretch as they're trying to make the playoffs. All right, offense sells tickets, defense wins championships. LA might not be that caliber quite yet, but they're hoping to be one of those teams that can make a whole lot of noise in the playoffs. I'm excited. I'm going to pull up to this game tonight.